Well, that was a bucket load of joy and positivity, wasn't it? 73% of Americans are angry or dissatisfied at the state of the country. Yet Biden comes out smelling of roses anyway. The historically unpopular president with rapidly declining cognitive abilities, presiding over a crippling inflation crisis and an economy heading south in a hurry. And he has a better midterm record than Barack Obama or Bill Clinton. The best midterms for Democratic governors since 1986. In what world does that make any sense?
What in the next 2 years do you intend to do differently to change people's opinion of the direction of the country, particularly as you contemplate a run for president in 2024?
Nothing.
Bloomberg, Biden, despite his low approval rating and relative absence on the campaign trail, will likely be able to claim the best midterm performance for an incumbent president's party in 20 years. Are Republicans that bad that they can barely compete against the likes of Biden and Fetterman? Two men who can barely string two coherent sentences together. Fetterman's campaign was an absolute car crash from beginning to end, yet he still won convincingly. I mean, is there even any point campaigning at all? Joe most votes for any president ever. Biden barely got out of bed in 2020. It didn't matter. Democrat Tony DeLuca received 86% of the vote in Pennsylvania, and he's been dead for a month. Same for Democrats Barbara Cooper in Tennessee and Simon Silver in California. Both dead, both still beat their Republican challengers. Here's a question. How come Florida can count 7 million votes in a matter of hours? Yet we're still here, 2 days after the election as I make this video. And 30% of the Senate votes in Arizona haven't even been counted yet, with fewer than 2 million votes total counted after nearly 48 hours. Florida and Texas have far bigger populations. Almost all their ballots were counted on the night. Yet in Nevada and Arizona, it drags on for days on end. Why? Pima County says most of the ballots might be counted by the 14th or 15th next week. Who's counting them? First grade children? When governments across the developed world can have election votes counted for entire countries on the night, within hours, where did this new normal come from where it takes one state days or even weeks to complete the count? And regarding the vote itself, look at these exit polls broken down by race. So whites represent about 73% of the voting population. 58% of them voted Republican. Out of non-whites, who represent 27% of the population, 68% voted Democrat. What happens when that 27% figure keeps on increasing every 2 years? And you wonder why Democrats want open borders and mass migration. Oh no, not allowed to talk about that, are we? Let's pause there for a word from the sponsor of this video. This video is sponsored by Kamikoto Japanese Steel Knives. Look at that beauty. Used by Michelin star chefs around the world, the knives are made with super high quality Japanese steel, using traditional techniques that date back over 800 years. This is the crappy knife I was using before, and this is the Kamikoto Japanese Steel Knife. Look at that, like a hot knife through butter. Faced with the Kamikoto, that carrot didn't stand a chance. That single bevel edge means Kamikoto knives can achieve an unbelievably sharp edge you just can't get with other knives. Kamikoto is truly the edgelord of the knife world. Wouldn't want to mess with that, would you? Each knife is individually inspected and comes with a lifetime guarantee. The knives come in this lavish heavy-duty ash wood box, so they make a great gift too. Each Kamikoto knife goes through a rigorous 19-step process, and you can tell just by looking at them that they're top quality. Go to kamikoto.com/Watson50 and save up to 85% with free shipping as part of the early Black Friday sale. And get this, if you use discount code Watson50, they'll give you an extra $50 discount on any purchase. That's massive. The best way you can support me is by supporting my sponsor. Now back to the video. Unmarried women breaking in favor of Democrats by 37 points. And you wonder why they want to obliterate the family unit. Create enough wine ants and cat ladies and you've got yourself a very powerful new voting bloc. The regime wants to turn everyone into unmarried women. Let's look at young voters. 70% of 18 to 29-year-olds voted Democrat. If not for voters under 30, tonight would have been a red wave. Oh, but many of them will stop voting Democrat as they get older. How long is that going to take? 20 years? 30 years? Do we have 30 years? This is the TikTok vote, isn't it? In the most competitive Senate races, 4 Democrats posted regularly to TikTok, while only Dr. Oz was a presence for Republicans, although he seemingly gave up on it and stopped posting over a month ago.
This is a desperate place to be, is like the
creepy older person trying to look hip to court the youth vote.
Yes, smartphone-addicted Zoomers with 10-second attention spans can be convinced by cringe dance routines and micro soundbite messaging. But when Conservatives try to use that platform, they're mass-flagged and banned anyway. Naturally, Zoomers came out big for Dems, partly because their sacred right to engage in degenerate and promiscuous sex and then kill their babies was put under threat. But even in the deep red states of Kentucky and Montana, anti-abortion measures lost. A measure that would have asserted there's no right to abortion in the Kentucky state constitution. Lost. A measure that would have criminalized healthcare workers in Montana not trying to save the life of a living baby after birth. Lost. Solid red conservative state can't even say a kid outside the womb shouldn't be left to die. It's over. People complain about Trump-endorsed candidates underperforming, yet they were sabotaged by the Republican establishment. Mitch McConnell withholding funding in key races. Kevin McCarthy spending millions trying to sink MAGA candidates, money that could have been spent on defeating Democrats. Did Republican voters stay at home because of all the red wave talk? Did they just expect it to happen without them having to get their arses off the sofa to go and vote? Did independents really buy into the media hysteria that they were voting to secure democracy itself? That if the Republicans scored big, Trump would become a dictator and there'd never be any elections ever again? Are people really that fucking dumb? Are you completely black-pilled? Or is rising above the demoralization itself half the battle? Where do we go in 2024? I'll be reading your comments below.